Welcome to Your Son, the Youth and Women's Support Network. I'm Charmaine Sangari from Myself Central. Over the past few weeks, we have been discussing a journey to wholeness, and out of the situation that you have come from, you are now starting to look at what it is that you want and how you're going to get there. So we've discussed different aspects like doing makeovers, starting to get your creative juices going, setting boundaries and setting aside me time. This week we're going to be focusing more on what to do during that me time, and that is going to be mainly focusing on what you want. It's very easy for us as human beings to focus on what we don't want and what's not happening, and that doesn't do anything good for your vibe, and that doesn't do anything for the frequency that you allow yourself to rest on, which is ultimately where your opportunities are going to come from. So it's really important that when you are alone and when you are spending time with yourself and you are having the thoughts that you are having, that you really always try and shift your focus from what is not happening and what you don't want to what it is that you actually do want. And that's why writing things down and keeping a journal or having a notes page on your phone, every time you think of something that you actually want, it's really good to just write it down. And then when you have that time alone, you can reflect back on what it is that you want. When we start to think about what we don't want, we start to attract more of what we don't want, and it proves to us that life doesn't give us what we want, but ultimately we are creators and we are the designers of the life that we want. So it is really important to keep focusing on what you want. When you start to think about what you want, one of the the directions that you're going to look at is going to be, how you're going to provide yourself with an income, or whether you want to be in a relationship, or whether you just want to have stable sort of friendships. These are all things that you may want. And so it's really important to start thinking about the kind of person you want to be in those things that you want. So if you want to be in a loving and stable relationship, how do you want to be in that relationship? So that helps you hone in on the areas of your life that you need to look at and you may need to reflect on. It may be if you have, issues with being impatient, or whether you have issues with insecurity, or whether, you don't want to be cheated on, or whether you want someone who's loyal. So you're flipping from what you don't want to be cheated on to you want someone that is loyal. So it's really important to know exactly where it is in your own psyche that you put a negative spin on it, so that you can then start turning that spin around and looking at the opposite end of the spectrum. So if you want a good job, you want to feel respected, you want to feel like you're valued at the place of work that you work in, rather than thinking, I don't want to be treated like shit, I don't want to be spoken to by a manager who's not understanding, or you might reflect on past situations where you are bringing up how you was treated and you don't want to be treated like that anymore. It's very easy to reflect back on our past and to think about the bad situations and how we were treated, but it is good to reflect on those times so that you know what the feeling is and you can identify what the feeling is that you don't want to be treated like. So you don't want to be disrespected, for example. You don't want to be cheated on, like I've said. That gives you the opportunity to find out what it is that you do want. So when you're having your alone time, write down what it is that you want, what it is that how you want to be treated by a manager, by your friends, by your parents, by your partners. How is it that you want to be treated? And then it's up to you to start emulating and holding yourself in that position of a person who is treated like that. So that's how you start to bring that into your reality, by knowing, okay, I don't want to be disrespected, or I don't want to be cheated on. Therefore, your vetting process when you meet guys should be a lot more strict, and it should be a lot more cemented in, actually, no, I'm not going to be treated like that. And you find out the red flags a lot sooner. What is it that you want? What is it that you want? Write it down. Focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on it. Focus on it. Hold it in your mind so that you know how to carry yourself in in the situations that you're going to come in. You don't want to go into a job interview with a negative experience and the bad vibes of how you don't want to be treated. You want to go in there with confidence to know that what you have to give in that job is going to be beneficial to you and to the company. And, you know, that's what you want, because you want a career, you want a job, you want to provide for yourself and your family, or whatever the case may be. If you don't know what you want, you can't go for what you want, is the short and simple answer. You have to know what you want. You have to know what you want in every situation, every scenario. If you want a good outcome when you're having an argument with someone, but you want a good outcome and you don't actually want to be arguing with that person, how you respond in that situation changes, because you know that you want a better outcome and you can see a better outcome for yourself, which could be, you know, I don't need to argue with this person at this time, and I don't want to bring up start hurling insults that could turn a bad situation worse. So you know what you want in that situation, therefore you get what you want in that situation, which is peace or a resolution. So knowing what you want is important, because you can't get what you want till you know what you want. If you are at a crossroads and you are finding it really hard to even hone down what it is that you want for your life, please do contact yoursun.org. You can also contact me, Charmaine Sangari, on Myself Central. I specialise in putting in small steps towards whatever it is you want, and I'm also very supportive in helping you find what it is that you want. If you'd like to start making any plans towards your future and your goals, then do contact us on yoursun.org on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, or myself at Miskmore or Myself Central on Instagram. I hope you have a yawesome day.